everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Blades of Avernum. Last episode, we went to speak with the Prophet, Laguerre, and he managed to pull a Moses on us. He parted the underground river here, just so that all his followers could escape the army of Nas that was coming to kill them. And then after everyone got out, he caused the river to fall back onto the army. It was a hell of a fight, too. There were a lot. No way we would have won. We basically just ran and hoped we wouldn't be killed. Anyway, let's go into the camp. You enter the camp that the expedition has set up, which is little more than a few pens and some small tents. Most of the followers must sleep in these pens on thin ground pads, little better than sleeping on rocks. A few of the more important people, including you, get tents. Yours should be nearby, and you can see to the north that 3 portable wooden buildings have been set up, one each for Pithos, Cass, and Laguerre. You should probably speak to Pithos or Cass. One of them will have instructions for you. Yeah, I bet. We're going to explore around here first. You enter your tent. What do you do? Enter and rest, I guess. So we could have done that before. I like the design of the tents there. I like the way they decided to make the tents. It's clever. Quite clever. Props. Alright. Ah, Macron. He's sitting outside. Macron looks around the pen, scribbling notes as always and grinning. He fumbles with something in his pocket for a moment before he sees you approach and greets you with a firm, "Hello!" What's the news? Anything interesting? Oh, we seem to have driven back the forces of Nas finally. The pursuit of our blasphemy seems to have ended. They still hold the west shore though, so we cannot go back. We must press on towards our destiny. Did you not merit a spot in the tent? Macron smiles with a bit of chagrin. Ah, yes, well, the leaders decided that since my work is the least physically strenuous here, I would not need the quiet and shelter provided by a tent, best reserved for the physically exhausted like Talus. I'm sure it was meant as no slight to my importance. After all, it is through me that the entire rest of the world will hear about all your deeds. He smiles proudly. What is that in your pocket? A most recent arrival, he says with a broad grin. It's an orb of far speech, which allows me to dictate my reports to someone in Valorum, who will then print them and disseminate them widely throughout Avernum and the Empire. He pats his pocket. By means of this orb, the entire world will know what we're doing. Yes, indeed, this is the best assignment a new reporter could have wished for. I wonder if anyone is even listening on the other end when he gives his reports. One can only hope. You enter a tent containing Phaedra and Ethas. They're playing a game of chess. Ethas sits at the board, and Phaedra calls out her moves. Dervish to King's Nephil 3, she says as you enter. Then she looks up and smiles at you. Hi there. Dervish to King's Nephil 3? Interesting. Ethas sits, contemplating the chessboard. She moves a piece and waits for Phaedra's response. Then she looks up at you. Hi, she says. What is your job on the strip? Mostly it's to take care of Phaedra, and also... Something strange comes into her voice. To attend on the Prophet. But right now the Prophet is busy, so I'm here with Phaedra. I don't have a job quite like Silthok or Talus, who are in charge of supplies and construction, respectively, but most of the Sliths on this expedition don't. We just pitch in wherever we're needed. What do you think of Laguerre's miracle? Reverence pervades her tone. It was amazing, truly amazing. Pure proof that the goddess is real and blesses this journey. How is the game going? Phaedra is really good. I'm losing. Oh well. Yes, it is impressive. Again, Laguerre has proven himself to be Moses. You know what? Okay, for the few of you who may not actually know, Moses was a religious figure from Jewish legend who led the Jewish slaves of Egypt out of Egypt. He performed various miracles and the like to persuade the Egyptian pharaoh to let his people go. He did, but then as Moses and his people got to the Red Sea, Pharaoh had a change of heart and started charging after them to effectively kill them. And it was at that point that Moses parted the Red Sea so that the Jews could escape from Egypt. They ran across, and as they got across, Moses allowed the Red Sea to, well, close again, washing away the rest of Pharaoh's army. Here's the interesting thing. I believe I heard that there is some word that may have actually happened, but it wasn't caused by a miracle. Conveniently, at about that time, there was a big explosion, I believe a volcano or something, a distance away, that would have caused a tidal wave of sorts. Tidal waves, as they are approaching the shore, because they are so big, they cause the water at the shore to recede just before it arrives. And I believe what was said was that it happened to be timed well enough that the water receded, revealing a small land bridge that Moses and his people managed to escape across before the tidal wave showed up, washing away the Pharaoh's army. I don't know if that did actually happen, but it does put more light into this. Yes, it is possible that the prophet did speak to his goddess, but it's also possible this was a coincidence. It's possible that he just has some magical powers. It's still possible that he's still gypping people somehow. I don't know. I'm still concerned. Anyway, let's continue on. Phaedra sits, occasionally telling Ethas to move on the chessboard. You imagine that she doesn't sit on the ground because it would be uncomfortable, since she's pregnant. She smiles as you approach. What's up? How are you feeling after that rush out of Vastulis? I'm okay. They didn't make me carry anything, so I had it easier than everyone else. I don't think I'll be going anywhere else anytime soon, though. The little one would rather that I not, I think. What do you think of Laguerre's miracle? It was impressive, but it makes me wonder. He has power, we know that, but we don't know that his power is divine. I was struck watching that by the fact that an awesomely powerful mage could have done exactly the same thing. Any of the great archmages of a few decades ago would have had that kind of power. Solberg, X, Erica, Garzad. But I'm just speculating out loud. I don't know. What was I just talking about? How is the chess game going? Well, I love chess. I always play it with my best friends. I'm ahead by a Nephil archer right now, so I'm hoping that I'll win. Yeah, but who knows? Athos is a good player. Hey, just because you happen to be ahead a unit doesn't mean you're definitely gonna win. I mean, look at my name. I know chess. So who's the father? Maybe tell us now. A good man. She clearly will say no more than that. Okay. Did you scout around at all? Probably not. Oh, yes. Wait, what? A few months ago, traveling south, I found the ruins of a city, Lakos, according to the people in Vastulis. I saw some very unpleasant Slyths nearby, barbarians, bigger and more vicious than any I've ever seen. They growled in a language that I didn't recognize, although I caught one word repeated several times. A name, I think. Rashek. I made sure to get out of there before they saw me. They seemed not at all like the Slyths in Vastulis. I think something has made them foul. I wonder what. Well, be careful around them anyway. Rashek. Interesting. Alright, moving on. At least they managed to get some food with them. Alright. You enter a tent containing Talus, Ithic, and Silthok. They seem to be in the midst of a conversation, but it cuts off right as you enter. Although they are lucky to have their own tent and not be stuck in a pen with the others, they do not have a lot of room. They'll have to get very familiar with each other over the course of this journey. Ithic, Silthok, Talus. Let's start with Ithic. Ithic shifts uneasily, not meeting your eyes for a long moment. He seems guilty in some way, but you can only guess why. Greetings, he says. What did you think of Laguerre's miracle? Ithic looks extremely uncomfortable. It was impressive, magical, big. He looks down at his claws. You know, like Like all this stuff that, the Prophet does. What do you think of the trip to the center of the homeland? It means as much to me as to an Avernite. Vasculus was a far outpost of the Empire of Calthas. Neither I nor my ancestors have seen true civilization for generations. It will be good to see Naktha and Manakos and the other cities. The Empire of Calthas. The civilization of the homeland. That's what we call it. Our founder was Calthas nearly 1,000 years ago. He was the hero of an epic poem, our national epic, the Calthanad. My father taught me a few verses of it when I was young. I didn't have a copy of it anywhere in Vasculus. I have only ever heard a few lines. The first question to the other Smiths we meet will be, do you have a complete copy of the Calthanad? I've always wanted to hear the rest of it. What were you three talking about? He looks away. Nothing. He's hiding something, but nothing you say will make him tell you. Silthok looks uncomfortable as you approach. He taps his claws together, making a clicking sound. Whatever he, Talus, and Ithic were talking about, it must have been something they shouldn't have been. He manages a smile, though. Hello, what can I do for you? Are you still selling items? He is. Good. We can get more energy elixirs. I think it's worth it to get some. There, I think that works. Oh look, we can actually buy some arrows. Iron arrows. Well, we can buy some arrows, anyway. Can you identify my items? Can you teach me anything? Again, just the elixirs. What were you three talking about? Nothing. Nothing important. Just how we were going to share this tent. He's obviously lying, but you can't seem to get him to say anything else about it. Talus looks tired. He has been doing work recently. He greets you as you approach. What has been keeping you busy? Salvaging what I could from our supplies. We weren't exactly prepared for this. I have been figuring out what I have to improvise with. I think that I can build boats with what we've got, but it will not be easy. What did you think of Laguerre's parting of the river? Talus frowns. It was impressive. It showed power. He glances at Silthok. Great power. He seems slightly uncomfortable and does not say more. Obviously, Silthok, Talus, and Ithic are all very concerned about what he did. Either they're scared of the Prophet and what he can do now, or they're concerned about the fact that he killed so many Nass warriors so easily. Something concerns there, and I'm concerned about what will happen from that. Now, that's Cass's door. That's Laguerre's door. Yes, let's start with Laguerre. No, actually, let's not. I guess we're starting with Pithos. Pithos nods to you as you approach. Greetings, he says. I have instructions for you. Where is everyone? There aren't many people in camp. Yes, many are away doing work for the expedition, one way or another. Some are gathering wood for fire. Some are catching fish down by the river. At most times, only a few members of the expedition will be in camp. What did you think of Laguerre's miracle? Pithos' expression is impossible to read, but you can tell that something troubles him about this. It was impressive. The goddess is truly powerful. What should I do now? We have no idea how far it is to civilization. The major city before Vasculus was Thasaka, but it may be equally cut off from the inner homeland. To be careful, we must prepare for the worst. A journey of several weeks down the river. We are not yet ready for river travel. We were going to build boats, but we did not have time before the attack. We only have one boat. Go back to the east riverbank where we emerged, where that boat is waiting for you. Take it and travel south. We need you to tell us what is ahead. Scout and clear the way. These tunnels are known to be filled with dangerous monsters. Eliminate the ones in the way. We have many with us who are not warriors, and we can ill afford another battle. When you have found a good stopping place for us, or an obstacle that you cannot pass, return here and consult with me again. Very well. You come to Laguerre's door. Let us knock. He does not answer. Either he's not there or he doesn't want to talk to you. Alright, what about Cass? He also does not answer or not want to talk to me. Okay then. Well, it seems that Almost everyone in the camp is very concerned about what happened. Well, concerned or scared. Well, there's the boat. So we have our way to move on. And here we are. It's probably not a good idea to get too close to the west bank of the river, just in case any of the slits of Nass were left. You don't want to fight with them. Yeah, makes sense. Well, there's the river. I'm gonna save before we start moving on. Alright, let's start exploring here. We don't have a time limit, so we can explore however we want. Well, we've got some land here. Let's see if there's any hidden passages. Looks like there is not. We do have some food, although I don't know how we'll be able to get more. You set off south down the river, about to journey deeper into the Slith homeland than any outsider has ever gone. Not far away is your city. To your dismay, though, you notice that the city is ruined. It was destroyed some time ago. You can only hope that the rest of the homeland is not like this. Let us investigate the city. This was once a thriving Slith city. Its name was Lakos, judging by the signs. It was sacked, abandoned, and overrun with monsters, but that was so long ago that even the monsters have left. Nothing lives here now. Oh, this isn't This is Lakos. Lakos was not listed here. Naktha was listed as the closest. Curious. Before you is a giant hole in the ground. Deep it extends, with large rocks and boulders at the bottom, the remains of an ancient quarry for the nearby city. Evidently, this rocky ground yielded resources for Lakos once upon a time. The decades since its abandonment have led to landslides and collapses around the sides of the pit. If Laguerre needs any rock, he can probably find it here, but it's not enough to rebuild the city, or at least not without considerable re-excavation. Near the edge of the pit, you see a few very prominent dead bodies, apparently of Sliths. They don't look very old either, certainly not old enough to be from the time of Lakos. There is more to this place than meets the eye. Up close, you can see that the dead bodies are quite recent, judging by the fact that they have not been reduced to mere bones yet. They look like normal Sliths, except perhaps a bluish tint to their skin. Some of the bodies look as though they have been disturbed. Something strange is going on here. There's gotta be a hidden path here somewhere. Aha! Ooh. Let me save first. Alright, let's investigate here. Before you is a giant dark altar, at which a number of barbarian Sliths are praying. As you watch, they carry a dead body that looks like one of the ones from the quarry up to the altar and begin to hiss over it. This seems like a religious ritual, and if you had to guess, you'd think that they are desecrating the dead. Do you try to stop them? Yes, try to stop them. You encounter some strange-looking Sliths. At least they're lizard-like humanoids who carry two-tined spears. They must be Sliths. However, they are larger, hunched over, and more muscular than normal Sliths. They look more primitive. They hiss in brutish tones that vaguely resemble the ancient Slith language that you've learned, but you can't understand them, and you feel certain that they are not even speaking a full language, just the equivalent of pack wolves barking. This is deeply disturbing. If the Sliths of this area are all like this, then the homeland may contain nothing worth seeing at all. Only two. Oh! That is creepy. I mean, they're not overly powerful, but okay, they are still pretty darn powerful. There's that one. Okay, yeah, two of them are pretty darn powerful. Down they go. Carry regular slith spears. The barbarians are dead and their desecration has stopped. As you put away your weapons, you hear a distant, quiet, spectral voice in your head. "We thank you," it whispers sibilantly. "Come down the east waterfall so that we may repay you." Come down the east waterfall? There must be a waterfall to the east then. But if we come down it, how are we going to come back up? You can hear the roar of waterfalls to the south of you. Not just a few, but many. If you go down this way, you'll have to find another way back, since you can't just climb back up a waterfall. You should be sure that you're ready before you go. You remember the ghostly slith voice telling you to take the east waterfall. There's west, center, way over here is east. So I guess that's the one we'll be taking. We're gonna lose food, aren't we? Let's return back, see if we can tell him about the barbarians that we found there. Maybe something worth telling. Come on. Come on. I found some waterfalls down the river. Pithos listens carefully. "It sounds as though you found no new stopping place for the expedition. Proceed down the waterfalls. We must know what is beyond them. Just know that you will need to find some other way to return." Yeah, so we know. Did we mention anything to these guys? Most likely not. The answer is no. Alright, so we go down this way, we're pretty much stuck. Let's make sure we're actually fully equipped. See if we can see if there's anything else we need to buy here. I mean, I guess I can buy a few heroic days. Not really anything else I think it's very useful or worth taking. I don't think we need the dust of shadows. Or the basic powder, really. Cleansing powder I'll hold on to. And we can't really get any food, it looks like, which does suck a lot. Well, we got regular lockpicks and fine lockpicks, no magic lockpicks. Alright, well, let's head back out. Said the east waterfall, so we'll take the east waterfall. And you know what? Before we go down, I'm actually going to end this episode here. Another shorter episode, yes, I know, but we can't turn back, so I'm just going to end this episode here. Next episode, we'll go down the waterfall and see what happens. Till then, I'm Chester44, that is Fox, Sheik, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.